Friday, April 22nd, also known as Earth Day, and I am here at McCrae Lake. I'm about to do my first canoe trip of the season. I'm pretty stoked. I'm here at the Portage into McCrae Lake. There is a woodpecker up here in the trees somewhere knocking away. And there's also someone camping at the end of the Portage, like right at the end of the Portage. So I didn't want to do a video there. I just dropped the canoe off and my food bag, and I'm just gonna grab my backpack and go back, and once I get on the water, I will film some more. The Portage into McCrae from the parking lot. It's usually pretty mucky. Today is no exception. It's actually a lot less mucky than normal. And there's all these side trails that people have created, which helps a lot. But I've got my dry suit on and my water shoes, so really doesn't make a difference. It's just a little hard to walk on. It gets slippery. And as I mentioned, there's the tent at the end of the Portage, so I'm just gonna film when I'm done. And I'm on the water. It is 11 o'clock on Friday, April 22nd, and I'm about to hit the water. On the water. I came down here last Thursday after work because some of the lakes were open in Muskoka, and I wanted to see if the water was open, and it was, and I was elated. So I went home. I immediately packed my bag and got ready to do a trip, and then Friday the weather was not cooperating. There were high winds, there were wind warnings. It wasn't good. And then Saturday wasn't much better, so I had to kibosh the trip, which happens, safety first always. But today is a beautiful day. It is 6 degrees right now, feels like 3. It's not very cold. I'm actually roasting in my dry suit. I'm glad I didn't put on my Patagonia underneath, because I would have just been dying. And I'm already kind of roasting, and I got to do that Portage, so probably be pretty hot and sweaty. But I did bring a change of clothes because it is supposed to go down to, feels like -2 tonight, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny for about an hour or two, and then at 8 a.m. Between 8 and 9 it's supposed to start raining, and it's supposed to rain the whole day. For now I am here, I am on the water, and I could not be happier. Earth Day today. Unlike any other time I go out on a trip, I am prepared with trash bags to take some debris out and clean up the area as much as I can while I'm here. So far I haven't seen any garbage at all. Usually there's tons in the parking lot. It looks like they redid the parking lot here at McCrae. They put a bunch of those, I don't know what they're called, but the cinder parking, like the long, skinny where you park in front of, to kind of give people a little bit more order of where and how to park so they can fit more cars in here, I guess. And I'm wondering if when they came, they just came and cleaned out the area. So far I haven't seen any debris or anything, but I will be picking up any garbage, plastics, anything that I can carry back out in my bags. I've got a recycling bag and a trash bag, so hopefully there isn't too much, which would be great. But if there is, I will be taking it out with me. I'm just coming up to the Portage here. Flip the camera around. When you start to hear the roar of the waterfalls, you know you are close to the Portage. There's actually a fairly steepish rock where you have to get out and dock your boat, which I always find a little bit tricky. So here it is. I'm going to put my camera away and get through this as quickly as possible so I can get on the main waterway. right, I'm taking my time here clearly. It's after 11:30. When I arrived at the Portage, I was putting on the yoke. I have a new fastener for my yoke, and I'm not sure if I put it on backwards or what the situation is, but I couldn't get it to hold to the canoe. So I was fiddling around with that for like 10 minutes, and I finally got it to work. And then I did the portage, and when I dropped the boat on the other side, the paddles, the yoke, everything came right off. So I need to fix that before I do any big trips. And that's about it, really. I mean, this is the type of trip to do it on, right? To make sure everything's working and there are no issues before I head out on a 5-day adventure and can't attach the yoke to the boat. So it's my favorite time of year. No bugs, no people, nice cool breeze. Sun is shining still, but it's not too hot. It's a little hot in the dry suit, but I'll be getting rid of that as soon as I get to camp. So, all right, I'm here. There's my bag. And I'm gonna make my way back. Just gonna walk over to the bridge here, about halfway through the Portage. There's a small trail that takes you to the bridge, where you can take a better look at the falls. So I'm going to do that, do a little filming here, take some pictures, and then I'll go jump in the boat on the other side. Alright, that took way longer than it should have, but like I mentioned, I had a couple of technical glitches I had to work out, so all good. There's the falls from here. I have a feeling this is all sucky muck, so I just brought the boat up on top of this little tiny embankment here and walked to the higher section so that I don't sink in the ground. Alright, I'm gonna throw my pack in and off I go. I cannot wait to be back on the water. Alright, it is 11:45, something like that, 10 to 12. And I am now past the Portage and into the lake, just in the little corridor still. I can feel the wind tugging a little bit at me, but it's not too bad here. And it's absolutely gorgeous out. Oh, I'm so happy. Saw a couple people walking towards the bridge there when I was just jumping in the canoe, so I just took off. I didn't take any more videos of the falls. When I got here though, I was unloading the canoe and a gentleman pulled up and we were chit-chatting, and his name is Mark. He lives in Barrie and he recognized me from my YouTube videos, and so we had a good chat. He's out doing a little bit of a day trip today and backpacking. I thought maybe I'd see him over there by the falls because I was there for so long poking around with the yoke, but I didn't end up seeing him. So nice to meet you, Mark. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching my videos. And I'm about to go into this little bay here. Usually when you go to camp, you go to the left to go out into the water, to the big part of the lake, but there's a little bay here on the right at the end of the channel here by the falls, and there's usually some wildlife here, so I'm going to be really quiet and see if I can maybe see a beaver or something. So I'll flip the camera around. Ooh, I think I see a wood duck. I think that's what it is. Oh, it's taken off. They're so sensitive right now because nobody's been out here and they probably haven't seen people in a very long time, if at all, if they're the next generation. So might be a little skittish. Big huge beaver dam here on my right. And another one there going into the bay that I'm heading into. There might be a baby merganser. They look a lot like loons when they're babies. Oh yeah, there's some ducks right there in front of me. quickly scared away all the ducks from all the way across the bay. I couldn't get close to any of them, not even a little bit. So I'm leaving the bay now. I got some nice mirror shots, but other than that, not too much going on. I had kind of planned on staying at the same campsite that I stayed on when I came here for my first trip 2 years ago, which was just up on the right over here. There's a little bit of a bay there, and the sunset's right in front of me. It rises over here, and it's nice and sheltered. Tent goes up on the top. There was a privy, which a lot of these sites don't have. And I just thought, you know what, I'll probably just camp there. It's not too far in, and then I can day trip around and explore. And there aren't too many campsites that face the sunset either. I haven't checked out a lot of the campsites here because there's usually always people on them. But today I kind of got my pick of the litter, so probably just look around and see what's what. All right, well, I stopped and checked out the campsite on the left point here just when you're coming in. The fire pit is really nice. It's very sheltered, but currently everything is very underwater, and the fire pit is in a great spot for a windy, stormy day, but I kind of want to sit in front of the fire and look at the water and not have to get up to do that. I want it to be right in front of me. And of course, this isn't that great right now. It's a nice site though, and it does have a privy, although it's one of those blue barrels. It's probably not that nice. I didn't actually go right to it to investigate, but I love the rocks here. Look at this rock. It's got all these lines through it. It's really windy here. The campsite over there, I like it because it's sheltered a little bit. It's kind of in a little bay, and this island kind of blocks some of that wind. So that's where I just was there. And then this is where it goes into, it goes actually all the way in. This is an island here, and this goes all the way into the back, and I camped on that cliff way back in there. And this goes straight, and then you can turn left to meet up with this part of the waterway. Well, I have found the wind, and I have also found the geese. Geese are some fairly evil creatures, and I don't like to cross paths with them too much because they can get quite nasty. I'm going to see what happens with these geese and see if I'm just going to keep paddling on or not. I don't usually explore this area. I usually turn left and go into that other part of the lake. So this is kind of new territory for me, which I love. Exploring is my thing. And it looks like there's a nice little bay in here, and I see a bunch of ducks and stuff. So I'm wondering if this would be a great place to camp so I can see the wildlife right from my campsite. Although the geese, I don't think they're agreeing. I don't care if it's a nice campsite. I don't want to anger these guys. I'm just gonna go. It's okay. I'm gonna go. It's okay. They took off. They got into the water. And yeah, there's the babies flying away. I didn't go. I paddled away from them, but there's a big rock there. There might be a fire pit on top. That might look like a site as well. And that is also facing the sunset, where the sunset should be approximately, I believe. Alright, check this side out here. It is super windy out here on this campsite. The wind is coming from this direction. The sun would set over here, and just going up to take a peek at the site. What it looks like. There's a bay on either side. There's one over here, and there's one over on this side, and you'll be able to see some wildlife with that. out in the open, which is what I wanted, overlooking the lake. Actually a little bit protected from the wind here. So the wind is coming from this direction. I don't know what they are. They might be loons. I'm not sure. So the noisy geese were just over there. I came from that direction. And man, that sun feels good. There's a bay here and there's a bay here. So, pretty nice view. I feel like that other one. It's gonna get cool tonight. So I don't want to be out in the middle of, the elements either. I want to kind of be sheltered, but it's a fine line, right? If you want a view or if you want to be sheltered. You can't have it all sometimes. I try though. Oh, if you go back in here, oh, it's so much warmer back here. If you go back here, looks like there's another fire pit. Less wind here. Some really nice big trees here too. Beautiful. Well, there's another option of a fire here, but this is just like that other site, right? It's way back off the water. The thing I like about that one I was looking at, the one that I've been to before, which I'm comparing these to, is there's like a big cliff behind it, so there's kind of shelter, even though you're right in front of the water. There's a privy here, an actual real privy. That's kind of impressive. Oh, it's nice to have a privy. Nice flat spot here for the tent. Some puff balls here. And backdoor fire pit, which is good for if it gets too windy. It's a nice site. I like that there's a privy. I like that there's a lot of options. But I just really don't like the biting wind here. It's really cold. And the wind is just biting. You can really feel that 3 degrees with the wind chill. Alright, so that's the campsite I just looked at. And I've come across here to this one that looks really interesting. Looks like there's a couple of sites here maybe, but there's nobody here, so I'm not too worried about that. As soon as I paddled past that point a little bit, the wind just dropped right down, and that is what I'm looking for. Problem is the sun's gonna set right here, and if I'm here I'm probably not gonna see it very well or get much of it, but it looks like this might be open at the end here, and that could be a good option. So I'm gonna go take a look and see what I can find here. So at the other end of that point there, followed it all the way down, and it is open. There is a beaver dam there, and looks like a marshy area. I haven't gone all the way around yet, but if I can camp somewhere here, if that's a site, that might be a great option. It's nice and calm here too. Beautiful spot. It's awesome. Unfortunately, there isn't really a campsite here. I mean, I could camp here, but it's just not a site really. All right, the little bay where I was just in is right there. I am on the protected side of the water. That's the opening, and that is where I was just at the last campsite where it was super windy. Oh, I think a loon just popped up. Happy birthday, Loony! I can't tell if it's a loon or not. I don't think it is. It looks like it by the shape. Definitely looks like it by the shape. just turned around and saw a beaver right there at the shore, and it disappeared. Well, it's 2:30 and the day is getting away from me. There's two loons out here playing around. So nice to see them. And for lunch today, for dinner last night, I just had a frozen pizza. Dr. Utger's one of those. And I only eat half of the pizza. I did bring some ranch. So I'm just gonna have it cold and dip it in some ranch, and I'm gonna sit here and enjoy my view. I just took the top of the dry suit off for now. It just strangles your neck and your wrists, and it's nice to be a little bit free of that, get some air. I'm gonna sit here and eat. Bon appetit. It's good. There's the beaver right there. He's gone quite a distance now. I don't know if you can see him or not. Oh, down he goes. Oh, he's still up. Looks like a very small beaver. There it is. That's where I saw it before. And it's gone. There's lots of wildlife here. It's part of why I wanted to stay here on this campsite, but I don't want to be in the shade. It's gonna be really chilly. I can already feel it starting to creep. I was sitting over there and it's already starting to take over that spot, so I moved over a little bit just so I could eat my lunch and still sit in the sunshine, because now that my dry suit is off, my tank top and stuff underneath are kind of wet and sweaty because it's really warm in the dry suit. And I either need to put it back on or change into my dry stuff. There's all kinds of birds and stuff out here, and I definitely saw two loons. They haven't made a peep though, so hopefully I'll hear them today. It's 3:20. I'm still having the great debate. I just found a website that tells me exactly where the sun is going to set, and it's going to be at 289 degrees, which is actually over in that corner. I'm not going to have any sun on this campsite. As soon as it starts going down a little bit more and over a little bit more, I won't even see the sunset unless I go over there and stand up on that rock. So I'm going to be in the shade the whole time. Here comes the shade. Everything is in the shade. I don't like it. I want the sun. Well, it's just after 3. I left the site over there. That's the one that I was at where the sun was quickly disappearing. Sorry, phone slipped. When I was starting to paddle across the lake to go to that other campsite way at the start, and I looked over at the other campsite that I wanted to get, which was right there. It was in full shade as well, but over here, this beautiful site is all in the sunshine. I walked back. There's actually a trail over here, and you go up over those rocks and down, and there is an actual privy there. So I was like, okay, this is good. I then went over here where the fire pit is, and pulled out my compass, and I checked, went to the 290 degrees or 289, I think it's 289 degrees is where the sun's gonna set, and it is actually right in front of me. So I got my chair set up already here. On the way back from checking for the privy, I picked up a whole bunch of wood already and broke that all up. I've got some more pieces. There's another piece. There's a whole bunch of wood in the forest on the way to the privy, so there's no issue with that. And if it does continue to be windy, it just actually picked up when I started recording, of course, then I will just go use the fire pit that's in the middle of the campsite there, that's all sheltered, and I'll make my dinner there, and then I'll probably just come back and sit out here again. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button. Also click the bell for notifications. If you'd like to get more information on the stuff I use on my trips, please check out my website at CamperChristina.com. Thanks. Bye.